Good evening, brothers and sisters. It's good to be here, and it's good to come before you again to talk to you about what's going on, what's happening in our world today. And we'll be talking about Karla Lassiter today. It's important for us to find out what is going on in the mind of this woman who did our young brother that way. It's time for us to really start studying and find out what's going on in these white people's mind, where they believe or feel or of a mass opinion that they can do anything they want to us with this privilege that's so fastly leaving. And I want you to understand that this is no mistake. It's no mistake. This is what they do. They've been doing it a long time. And brothers and sisters, it's not going to change. It's not going to change until you and I take up the mantle and advance or aggress. Advance and aggress. Advance and aggress. This pressure, this oppression that you and I are under today. You're not free. I want you to understand that some black people have a real problem believing that they're free. They believe that they're free. This is a problem. You're not free. I don't care what anyone tells you. I don't care what anyone tells you. You're not free today. And you won't be free until your revolution has met your politics, until your revolution has met your demands for equality, until your revolution have met your demands for liberation, until your revolution. You see, there's the worldwide revolution, there's the black revolution, and then it has to be a revolution in you. It has to be a revolution in you to make you question things. You got to question things. You can't accept what's going on. Should never accept what's going on without having questions, brothers and sisters. And this is very important. And there are brothers and sisters that are working day and night, tirelessly online, raising funds so that they can speak this truth on the shows before you, so that they can speak truth before you. They're working hard to be able to speak truth, working that hard. And I would like to believe that they're doing this because of the love that they have for the black community, brothers and sisters. The love they have for the black community. Now, I want you to understand, and it's very pertinent that you understand, that when you work for the community, there's no one giving you money. Yes, there are a few people that may donate, but you can guarantee that it takes more than just that. More than just that. You have to be willing to go when you're penniless, willing to go irregardless of what is going on in your life, irregardless of what your financial situation looks like, because that's the sacrifice. That's the sacrifice. That is the sacrifice that you and I yield to the revolution. And I don't care who you are, from the greatest amount of money to the least amount of money. You're making a sacrifice in one way or the other. You find someone with a great amount of money and they make a stand. The first thing they do is begin to attack that infrastructure that they have independently for themselves to be able to make money. This is what the plantation owners of this nation does. That's right. I said plantation owners of this nation, because that is what you and I are on. We're on a plantation. This is still a plantation. You got to understand that. Now, I want you to understand that while I'm telling you that this is a plantation, all the slaves did not just sit back and take it. See, you got to understand that this is the most important lesson that you ever learn in your life. That all the slaves didn't just take it. There was some that took it. Some slaves took it, but not all the slaves. You had those that rose up. You've heard of some of them, but I guarantee you that there are many more that you didn't hear about, that made that white man say, look, we got to get them out of these physical chains, get them out of this physical bondage. We got to redraw this blueprint for oppression and resubmit it to them in a different form. So you came out of chains in slavery where you had been caught, stolen from your country, brought over here and sold like cattle to work fields and do everything else unseemly, and to be raped by the master, both men and women, to be told that you couldn't sleep with your husband, wives couldn't sleep with their husband couldn't sleep with their wives, to have your children sold. Every kind of evil under the sun was brought unto you. Every kind of evil under the sun was brought unto you. And this has not discontinued, but it has continued. I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that this has continued. It hasn't discontinued, but it's continued. And there are some white people, brothers and sisters, there are some white people who really believe that you and I are crazy and that we're wrong when we finally get to the point that we're going to explode. And you should explode. You should be exploding all over America right now. It should be a racial explosion all over America. There shouldn't be anything the white man can do to quench your fire that you have for the revolution. I'm telling you. Hear me and hear me good now. Because that's his trick. He kills somebody, he's paid money for it. Money doesn't mean anything to him. Money doesn't mean anything to a devil. Oppression means more to a devil than money. Oppression means more than money because oppression will give him more money. And not to mention that the dollar is losing its value. So how much is a life worth to this devil? You got to ask yourself the question. You have to ask yourself the question, brothers and sisters. There's no way around it. No way at all. You will not get out of this. Conan won't get you out. Begging for your life won't get you out. Only fighting and revolution will get you out of this. Other than that, you won't get out of this. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight like other countries have done to bring peace to your status, to give you independence. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight. And if you don't fight, then you're going to die. It's plain and simple. Only the strong survive, brothers and sisters. Who's that to put out that song? Was it Jerry Butler? He said, only the strong will survive. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Now, they'll throw in your face, well, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Worked and fought for peace. So did Malcolm X. But they killed Martin Luther King. They really didn't love King any more than they did Malcolm X. But King was for them their lesser evil. Isn't that something? When a devil who has put you in oppression, want to choose for you who your leaders are, choose for you when you get mad. Well, if he can do that, then there's no change in the situation. Your situation will never change if he can do that. I want you to understand this. Your situation will never change if he can do that. If he can tell you what to do, what does he have to lose? Brothers and sisters, all across this country we should be fighting. Every time we lose somebody in our neighborhood, the white man should lose somebody in his neighborhood. And tell him that we don't care what you do. As long as it's even Steven. We don't care what you do. And whatever you do to us, then we're going to do it to you. You have people like Karla Lassiter that have been around the entire time. Imagine that. Imagine that your child is at school to learn something educational. And here she has your baby taking his hand and digging in a toilet to get feces out of a toilet to unclog it with his bare hand. Like schools don't have janitors. Like schools don't have people that would do this. Plain and simple psychological damage, mental damage, and they've been doing it for years. These white crackers, are teaching our kids, and a lot of them don't even have a high school diploma. You and I letting our children go to public school. I should say you, because my children, I don't let them go to public school. I've always had them in a private home education course, strictly from yours truly, where their mothers are going to teach them home education, because you can guarantee their safety and everything else. That's why it's no problem for any of the black nationalists or the Muslims during this time. For what? We knew it was coming anyway. We were already prepared. Already had breakfast programs. They already had training programs. You already have educational programs and all of that. You're already prepared. You're already prepared. So this is no problem for us. It's only a problem for that man. And he really don't know what kind of danger he's in. Karla Lassiter really don't know what kind of danger she's in. She won't get away from this. This we won't let die. It won't go away. Not only do we not want her teaching in the public schools, because she can't go to any other school in America. That's what we want. We want her to be brought to court. We want her to be tried. We want her to be found guilty, because she is. We want her to do her time. And we don't want her teaching any other school. Now, not only her, but the principal, and all the teachers should also be fired. The principal and all the teachers should also be fired. Brothers and sisters, this is what we're working for when we go down to Little Rock. This is what we're working for. We got to stop this. And we have to protect those of us that have not come to the knowledge yet, that are in the public schools, that are still deaf, dumb, and blind, and thinking that this white cracker, racist white man, and all of his evil imps care anything about our kids. They don't. We're still on a plantation. This is still hell. America is still hell for the black man. What do we want? We want freedom, justice, equality. That's what we want. When do we want it? We want it now. We won't accept later. We want it now. And if we can't have justice, you can't have justice. If we can't have peace, then you won't have peace. If we can't have equality, you won't get equality either. We're done with the dumb stuff. All the dumb shit is over. We're done with that. Now it's time for you and I to move forward, not just to penalize and to snatch these devils, bring them to our court and make them guilty and give them the punishment. No, brothers and sisters, now we should be taking over states. We should be taking over states. You look at Atlanta, you look at Mississippi, you look at Alabama, you look at Arkansas, you look at Tennessee and all the other states where blacks are a majority. We should move from the north, come down to the south, and literally take over these states. It's very simple. It's very simple. After we crucify Karla Lassiter, because that's what we're going to do, physically crucify her. We got to find her. We got to find her. We have to find her. She needs to be brought to our court. Same way they brought our brother Jesus to their court, we got to bring her to our court. And we know that she's going to be found guilty. The same way that they find us guilty, she's going to be found guilty. And we'll let the people decide. I think the people have already spoken, brothers and sisters. I think the people have already spoken. You know what we have to do. We've entered a phase now where there's no turning back. No turning back. What are we afraid for? To be killed? We're being killed already. We're not afraid of dying because we're being killed already. What are we afraid for? You're going to affect our social lives? You're going to affect us being homeless? You're going to affect what? That's happening to us already. Black folks have learned how to pool resources now today. We're working together. So all these things have already happened to us. What are you going to do to us that you haven't already done? We got plenty to do that we haven't done and exercised yet. Yes. So when dangers come to our community, it's going to come to your community too, white man. It's coming to your community too. When it comes to ours, it's coming to your community too. Just get ready. Get ready. It is not just going to happen because I'm saying it. It's going to happen because of these seeds that you planted. The seeds that you planted. Detroit is another black state. We should take that over. Throw the white teachers out. Throw the white people out and just take the state. Take the state. Give it our own justice. Take it. Give it our own laws. Take it. If you won't give us reparations, if you won't give us our land, we're going to take it. That's what your and my mind should be today. And if you're not thinking like that, then you're not thinking. But we got some backtracking to do. George Zimmerman is still alive. Brothers and sisters, we can't allow that. We can't allow that, brothers and sisters. We can't allow it. Zimmerman is still alive, and we can't allow that. He's going to the courts today, trying to criticize the family and the court system, saying that he's receiving injustice. Brothers and sisters, had Tracy Martin killed him when he should have, when he had a chance, if he killed him, you wouldn't be thinking about Zimmerman today. What father, what person does that? Well, you let a man kill your son, and he's roaming around free. And you have the money, millions, where you can find them and hire help to find him. So you can bring him to your court and give him the punishment. He's walking around today, and he killed one of ours. The killer of Tamir Rice, walking around today, he killed one of ours. Brothers and sisters, we'll never be taken seriously, never be free until they're dead. Until they're dead. I'm making it plain to you today, brothers and sisters. I'm being plain. I'm being plain today. That's the only way that we'll be taken seriously. What do we care? We're not going to jail. We will not go to jail. And if we have to die, then they die too. If we have to die, the white man can die too. That's a fact. We're not afraid of dying. He's more afraid of dying than we are. What do we have to lose? You've taken everything from us. We don't have freedom. We don't have justice. We don't have liberation. We don't have equality. We don't have it. What else can he do to us? You got to start using your mind. You got to start using your brain, brothers and sisters. And you got to fight now because they have nothing to lose. This man is killing us across the country. Literally killing us across the country. Literally killing us. Abusing our children. Abusing our children across the country. Karla Lassiter is just one of them. Just one. But when you look it over, if you could see with the eyes of God and the eyes of wisdom, then you'll see there are many children that are suffering in these public institutions at the hand of these white devils. Many of them going to the white devil's home and being raped. Both our young boys and our young girls by these devils. The white man is not a devil, brothers and sisters. He's the devil. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he's not a devil, he's the devil. The Most Honorable Khalid Muhammad said he's not a devil, but he's the devil. Who are you and I, brothers and sisters, to say different? Who are you and I to say different? Minister Malcolm, when he was in the nation, when he came from Mecca, he still claimed that the white man was evil. The white man in America, there was a distinction made. He still said that man was evil. He still said we needed guns. We need to form rifle clubs. This is a fact. This is a fact, brothers and sisters. You can't get away from it. You won't nice your way out of it. You won't laugh your way out of it. You won't dance your way out of it. You won't itch your way out of it. This devil is going to have to be dealt with. And now is the time. We go to Little Rock, we're going there because we mean business. We going there because we mean business. And all the people that mean business need to come to Little Rock with us. April the 9th. on April the 9th. You need to be in Little Rock with us on April the 9th. You need to be there with us, brothers and sisters, on April the 9th at 12 o'clock, right on the school campus. Right on the school campus. April the 9th at 12 o'clock, right on the school campus. That's 12 o'clock noon, right on the school campus. Now, we know that sound is already there. Already drawing diagrams of the area, studying the enemy, because we know that this is real war. This is war. We're in war. We've been in war. Brothers and sisters, you probably saying, what do you mean? We've been in war. Ever since this man came to Africa, we've been at war with this man. Taking us from our home, taking us from our kingdoms, our schools of knowledge, our schools of science, our schools of development. And this devil brought us over here because he didn't even know how to plant an ear corn and to feed itself. That's how dumb and ignorant this oppressor that you love so much, this white man. That's how dumb and ignorant he is. He don't even know how to plant food, don't even know how to reap food. And then when he thinks he learned how to do it through 400 years of slavery, and he want to kick you off the plantation, he couldn't even run the plantation for himself. He had to have you to run it. That's the second plantation. The first plantation, you were a slave. The second plantation, you were a sharecropper. On the third plantation, you were segregated. The fourth plantation, you were integrated. Then you had the fifth plantation where you were in socialism. Brothers and sisters still run around saying that they're free. Free from what? What are you free from? If you could tell me what you're free from, then I won't even bother you with this ignorance I'm talking, because I know to you it sounds ignorant. To those of you that love the white man so much, it sounds ignorant to you what I'm saying. You said, well, that brother's angry. That brother's out of his mind. Why you should be angry? Why you should be out of your mind? Every time you turn around, somebody's dying in the black community. They walking in the church, busting you all upside your head, busting you all upside your mouth, shooting you down like a dog. Went into Breonna Taylor's bedroom while she was sleeping and shot her down like a dog. And these devils think that money is gonna satisfy that quench that you and I have to get justice. Take the money, yes, take it. But he used the money against the enemy. I don't understand Tracy Martin. As long as I live, I won't understand it. I don't understand any man that don't want revenge or won't get revenge when somebody has damaged his children. Don't understand that. God gave you that family for you to protect. And brothers and sisters, it's horrible when we go against one another. You ain't showing me nothing but how ignorant you are when you fight one another. That's the only thing you showing me, how ignorant you are. But if you want to show me how powerful you are, fight the enemy. I'll stand beside you on that. I'll give you reinforcements on that if you fight the enemy. I will give you reinforcement on fighting the enemy. I can help you fight a brother. I can help you straighten him out. I can help you give him real knowledge. I can help you point out if he's a coon or a sellout or a turncoat. I do that. I do that. We can make the brother non-effective or the sister non-effective. But killing our own brothers and sisters, we turn the other way. We already dying at our own hands. We already dying at the white man's hand. It's time for us to turn toward the white man. It's time for us to turn toward him. That's our enemy. That's our devil. He's our oppressor. No one else has ever done anything to us, nothing to us, like the white man has done it. And he's doing it every day. He's doing it every day. Why would you want to merge? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. That's why a lot of these sellout rappers, you got a lot of sellout rappers and entertainers. Sellout rappers and entertainers. I give props. I give respect to Sister Monique for standing up and not letting Hollywood use her. I give props and respect for her and all others that will stand up and not let the white racist devil use them. Not let the devil have them fighting one against the other. You can't respect Steve Harvey. That's a real coon. Oprah, a coon. She's not the only one. Gayle King, another coon. I mean, imagine that. Here Kobe Bryant has died, and the first thing she does is bring up his rape charge. If that's not a coon, I don't know what is. Now understand this. We don't fight black people. We don't fight our own people. We straighten them up with knowledge. We straighten them out with a sense of culture and self-identity. We straighten them out with intelligence and spirituality. We straighten them out with black nationalism. But when you got a coon that works against you, they're not on your side. So we don't care what happened to the coon. Just like Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash was running after Donald Trump. And every time Trump would do something bad to our people, she was shouting and jumping up, being his cheerleader, saying hooray. We don't give a damn about Candace Owens. If they kill her tomorrow, we don't give a damn about a coon. But for our people, we fight for our people. Those that need us, those that are willing to fight beside us and not fight against us, we'll stand up for them. That's why I don't understand the black policeman. You know, we don't mind a black policeman being a police, but go to a black state where you can be a police. Go to a black state where you can serve your people. Because when you're in the white precincts, we've gotten so many complaints, brothers and sisters. We've gotten a whole lot of complaints from black police that white police are interrogating them, that white police are abusive to them socially, that they're racially abusive. And when you ask the question, well, why are you working there? How is your brain working? How is your brain working? Why are you working there amongst these devils that don't give a damn about you? You can't protect your people, because if you protect them, then that same devil is going to harass you. Why not go to the black states? They could use good policemen. Arkansas could use good policemen. Great policemen. Atlanta could use good. We talking about black states. Atlanta could use it. Alabama could use it. Take over Mississippi. It's almost taken over now anyway. Just take it all the way over. Take it all the way over. Just keep on coming down from the north. Black folks should move from the north. Come on down to the south. Come on down to the south, and with numbers, you can control everything. Brothers and sisters, this is the mindset that we got to have. We got to physically take it over. If he won't get out, we'll come in and throw him out and take over these states. We want land. We're going to get land. Take over these states, make this land ours. Make the land ours. Then we get what we need here, go to Africa and establish ourselves there too. Because you got a lot of sellouts over there that needs to be taken over. But America, we damn sure gonna get a piece of America. All this blood and sweat and tears that we poured into this country, every generation, our generation of slaves, all these generations, and you gonna turn this over to the white man? I think not. I think not. All of this killing, all of this racial harassment, all of these death of our children, our mothers, our fathers, our people, blood running in the street. And this man thinks that we're going to run from him when he does evil? No, sir. It's a new day. This is a new day in black nationalism. You can't reason with us. You've never seen anything like me. Never in your life. I will die for this. I will die. I will die for this. I will die. It'll be better for me to die than to live in this. But believe you me, I won't be the only one dying. If I gotta go, you going with me. If I gotta go, that devil is going. And many others are going with me if I gotta go. So just know it. Oh yes, we never go to any community without searching out that entire community. Yeah, we search it out. We find your important people too. If they're important to you, we're going to find them just like you find our important people. You put us in danger, you'll be in danger too. We ain't going to jail. We will die. We will die. If we can't come with these demands that we want, and we go further. This is the kind of generation you're dealing with. You're dealing with a new generation. You're dealing with a new Nation of Islam, a new Black Panther Party, not sellouts. That's gone. That's over. That's over. And we're going to work harder, and we are stronger than you could ever imagine. And there are many of us, and we are united. Brothers and sisters, we have no choice. We have no choice. We've got to go. We've got to go. And when we go, we got to go in full strength. We don't have a choice. This man is killing you. What choice do you have? That's what I want to ask you. And he wants to blame, the white man wants to blame everybody else. Every time something happens, he's ready to blame everybody. Ready to blame everybody. From Minister Farrakhan on down, he wants to blame everybody. The white man does. He never takes a look at himself. Never take a look at himself. He wanted to blame me for Mackay X. Mackay X went in Texas and did business. He went in Texas and took care of his own business and killed those police. They wanted to blame somebody. They looked at the new Black Panther Party. They looked at African American Defense League. He wanted to blame somebody. They knew. It's not that they didn't know. They knew, but they just wanted to blame somebody. Mackay X had told him, I had enough of you killing black folks. They said, what do you want to do? I want to kill some white police. And he commenced to do just that. He did what he felt he had to do. He did what he felt he had to do against the nation that's oppressing him. You look at Christopher Dorner, he shot those LAPD cops. He shot them. He picked his way to deal with the problem. Brothers and sisters, this is growing across the nation. This is growing across the nation because people are sick and tired of these white, evil, racist, devil. They're tired of them. Tired of these bigots. Tired of these bigots. They're smiling in your face and shooting your children down. And don't say that all white people are not in it. Don't tell me that because you can't prove it. You haven't showed me anything that can prove that all white people are not in it. You can't prove that to me. So don't tell me that. That's why we've got to go back to the basics. We've got to understand. See, to understand what we have to do to Karla Lassiter, we have to understand what man formed the new Black Panther Party. What kind of man this was. We have to understand who Dr. Khalid Muhammad really was. One of the most fierce revolutionaries you ever seen in your life. Who understood revolution. Who understood revolution. Why did they fear him? Because he wasn't afraid to die. And they knew he would kill. They knew he would. See, black people are peaceful people. We're loving people. We wouldn't hurt anybody. Until you pushed us too far. Until you pushed us too far. And I would say it's been time for a racial explosion. It's been time for some real blood to be shedded in this revolution that we're in. The white man is shedding blood. When will you and I shed blood? That's the question. That's the question. As a mass people on a mass scale, when will you and I shed the blood that is needed to free us? This white man ain't going to free us. He's not going to free us. He's not going to give us any land. He's not going to give us any reparation. This is just a carrot dangling in front of our face to keep our heads looking to the sky for this white Jesus who's supposed to be the answer to all of our problems, all of our situations. That's what's got you in this problem today. It don't have me in the problem today, but it has you in the problem today because you're still looking for that great pie in the sky. You're still looking toward heaven. When I die, I'm going to study no war no more. I'm like going to lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside and study war no more. Brothers and sisters, it is shameful and it is distasteful and it is a disgrace for you and I to be listening to the religion that this devil gave us since slavery. This is crazy. This is crazy. I want you to see how foolish it is for you and I to deny ourselves our natural reaction of black rage, black power, and the shedding of blood against the enemy that is killing us. And I say no matter where they are, if he put them in the jails, then we go in the jails. We don't care about the jail. We shouldn't care about the jail. There's some brothers of ours, sisters of ours that are in the jail. What kind of revolutionaries are we? They haven't broke any laws. They haven't committed any crimes. None whatsoever. But that enemy, the white man that you love so much, the one that you would defend, that man come to you and talk to you about your brother, talk to you about your sister, and the first thing you do is believe it. He give you the first lie that he can sell through the news media. First thing you do is believe it. When in actuality, there are so many brothers and sisters that are sick or tired, that there are so many deaths of police across the country that you and I couldn't keep count. You know why? Because brothers and sisters are tired. They're not taking it anymore. The news media won't cover it. They won't cover it. They won't cover it. They don't want you to know what's really going on. And I read everything I can get my hands on. I can't even hardly sleep because I'm reading and studying everything I can get my hands on so I can know that devil and see what's happening to him. You can't make me feel guilty when our people are being shot down in the street, our kids being killed, having their heads chopped off, beat up against trees, when they're killing our kids, killing the mothers in the hospitals, shooting our sisters down, and you can't even stand. You don't impress me. That's what I say about these rappers. You know, brothers and sisters, I hate to see rappers today. Rappers today are not like the rappers in the past. You get these rappers today, no different than women. No different than women. They walk around with their pants sagging, showing their availability and screwing one another in the butt to get a record pass in the industry. Brothers and sisters, it's horrible. It's worse than you and I ever thought. It is worse than you and I ever thought it would be. Our fight is to keep the black nation sanctified, satisfied, and with self-defense. And self-defense is the only way that we're going to do this. It's the only way that we're going to do it. It's time now. The time has arrived for us, brothers and sisters, to interrupt these institutions, interrupt their church services, go inside of their home, do everything that they've done to us and that they're doing to us for us to do the very same thing. Karla Lassiter, the original part of our subject, that made one of our babies, put his hands in the toilet and dig out feces. I don't know about you, brothers and sisters, but that boils my shit. Brothers and sisters, I don't know about you, but I can't tell you how that moves me, how angry it makes me. If I had the words, I couldn't express it. That's how much it messes me up. And if I had been there, I would have made her eat every drop of shit that was in that toilet. I would have made her, and when we catch her, then she's welcome to eat all of it. The whole thing. And I've never meant something so much in my life. I never meant it so much in my life. These devils are going to have to know that we're not praying. We're not playing. We're not going to pray. And we're not going to play. But it's time for us to get to business. April the 9th. At 12 o'clock on the school campus. We already passed around the address. And if not, it'll be reposted so that you can see it. We need to be down there. We need to be ready. There ain't no sense of you getting scared. You can't run from it. Because the minute you go back to your own community, it's going to happen again. It's going to always be something to happen where this devil is torturing us. Always. You won't get away from it. You won't get away from it. You might as well accept it. And you might as well drink it whole. You would never get away from it because he's too evil. The white man is too evil. And he knows it. Look at the Capitol. I want you to think with me. Look at the Capitol, brothers and sisters. And while I think about it, we talking about the Capitol just tonight. A 9-year-old boy was killed in Detroit. Was killed in Detroit just tonight. A 9-year-old boy was killed in Detroit. Think about that. And I want you to think why it's happening. The black crime on black crime in the black community is from the white man. The white on black crime community is from the white man. So what's the answer when you put it all together? It's the white man. You get rid of the white man, you get rid of your hell. You get rid of the devil, you get rid of your hell. That's a fact. That's a fact. So you and I have to get on God's side. God is on our side, but we've got to get on God's side. That's what you and I have to understand. That's where we need to be. So Karla Lassiter has to be shown the business. She has to be shown the business, and we must find her. We haven't stopped looking for George Zimmerman. We haven't stopped looking for George Zimmerman. We're going to find him. We're going to find him. We're going to find him. We haven't stopped looking for him. And here's the thing, brothers and sisters. Until he's dead, can't none of us take ourselves seriously, and no one else will take us seriously. And when I say us, I'm talking about the entire black community. Whether you Christian, whether you Muslim, it doesn't matter. Whether you're a black nationalist or a black separatist, it doesn't matter. Whoever get to him first. Whoever get to him first. Because they are killing us. They are killing us. And we have to do something about it, brothers and sisters. We have to do something about it. So we've got to gain control. Not only that, but we're moving forward. There are businesses in our community that are not patronizing our community. We got to get these business out of our communities. Brothers and sisters say, well, how do we do that? You don't patronize it. Plain and simple. Don't patronize the building, and the doors will close. And if the building have to burn down, it's not our business. That's his business. That's his business. If the business have to burn down, it's not ours. What do we care? If they vandalize a business, it's not our business. What do we care? We should have a black man or a black woman ready to raise up that same business. And you and I should patronize the black business that come up in this place. That's revolution. That's revolution. That's true liberation. We have to liberate ourselves. Don't look for these sellout pastors to do it. They're not going to do it. You have some pastors that are not sellouts. But most of them are sellouts. Most of them are sellouts. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And there's an old generation around us that have been hanging on the power for so long until they're crippling us. You and I have to take the power out of their hands. For the people that have been misusing this power for so long, we got to take it out. We don't have a choice. There's no choice in the matter. We have to if we're going to survive. It's going to be always all right for a coon, an Uncle Tom, for master to do what he's doing. It's going to always be all right. Why, he'll never question the master. Because whatever the master gets, he gets a little bit of it. You know, it was this story one time about, and a lot of you have read Uncle Tom's Cabin. I'm sure you have. But there was a story one time about this old preacher named Joe that was on the plantation. And the name of the plantation was called Winmore Plantation. And I guess it was called Winmore because the white man was winning more than us. We were losing. We were in slavery. And on Winmore Plantation, this old preacher, Jethro, every time he would preach what the master was talking about or what the master's desires was on the plantation, the master would give him a biscuit and put a piece of chicken in it. Some of the researchers and scholars said that it was a piece of a thigh or drumstick. That's what some of the scholars say. And when you hear this term biscuit eater, that's where it comes from. Biscuit eater. Because all that man has to do is give you some biscuit, give you a piece of chicken in it, and then after that, turn around and give you some watermelon and have you smiling. And they said it would make old Jethro take off his shirt when he was eating that watermelon so he could see his stomach stick out and make fun of him. So today, straight today, the white man has a joke about watermelon and chicken. See, that's the way that he sees. Because every time you get some old Tom that goes to this white man and telling him what he wants to hear, then the white man believes it. But he really don't know how much real trouble he's in. He don't know it. You see, this kind of party that Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad had built, and the kind of Muslim that he was unlike any other since the time of Minister Malcolm, or since the time of the old Minister Farrakhan. There was no Muslim quite like that kind of Muslim. And Dr. Khalid, when we were going to battle, Dr. Khalid would put it on them. He didn't spare them devils. He never spared either one of them. And wherever you went, if you weren't able to be there, because he had a lot of supporters in the U.S. Army, a lot of supporters in the U.S. Navy, and all over the country, they would send money. If they couldn't be there, they would send money just so he could keep doing what he's doing. When I met him, I was about 13 years of age in Tunica, Mississippi, at an old Islamic mosque, mosque number 29, that was located in Mississippi. I believe it was mosque number 29 under Minister Edward Eggs. And Dr. Khalid came through that day that I was speaking. And the Baptist churches and the Muslim churches always had service together when I was coming up at this area. And in some other areas too, because Edward X had come from among us and he was able to speak to us. And every time he got up to talk, he was talking about black nationalism. Every time he got up to talk, he was saying the problems of the black Muslim is the same problems of the black Christian. And you had many ministers like that. So when the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad came around, he was talking about the very same thing. That your problems are my problems and my problems are your problem. And this is what he was talking about. When he talked about the religious institution, what he called the ecclesiastical or the black ecclesiastical institution, he was talking about it in the form of a military regiment that could protect people. He was talking about it in that kind of light. A military regiment that could protect people by giving them truth and giving them knowledge of who they are, where they came from, and where we must go. Not where they're going, but where we must go. So that takes continued teaching, brothers and sisters. He brought the same knowledge over to the new Black Panther Party. The very same knowledge. This is the kind of teacher that we have. This is the kind of founder that we have. Because we already know that Aaron Michaels, he was an agent. Just a few years ago, they blew him out of the water. The FBI, they do that to their coons and their sellouts. They blew him out of the water and let you know that he was working for, the national security. They let you know. But Dr. Khalid Muhammad took their organization, reshaped it, reformed it, made it strong, made it knowledgeable, made it serious about revolution. Every place he went, they gravitated to him because he talked about reality, the mess that you and I are in, the mess that you and I are going through, what we're facing day to day. He never stopped talking about it. Everywhere he went, everywhere he spoke, every place he demonstrated, he gave white people hell. He didn't accept the evil that they put on us. This is the kind of panther. This is the kind of example that we had before us. You had men that were educated as medics, men that were educated in law, men that were educated in the usage of nom de plumes, men that were educated in the responsibility and of respecting your brother, your brother's wife, respecting your brother's community when you came in, men that were ready to serve, men that stood up with respect and valor for their people, not people that were using people. You didn't misuse money. You didn't misuse resources, but everything you had was for the people. Everything had to be accounted for. This is the kind of man. This is the kind of brother. This is the kind of Panther that we should aspire to be like. The Most Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad. When I was with Steve Coakley, strong professor and analyzer, one of the most powerful brothers that I ever seen, who worked with Dr. Khalid in the private inner circle along with me, he gave me one job. My job was to organize, analyze, and advise. The only job that I had. And I've continued that to this day. And the other thing he told me was to educate, and when you get finished, educate the people. Brothers and sisters, you have to know the history of the man that organized the New Black Panther Party. The one that we were proud of. The one that we really can be today. An organization that we can be proud of that's protecting the people. The many militia wings of that one organization. And not only that, but the United Black Front. For when we all came together, it was an African American Defense League. That became the shield when we all came together across the nation. Black nationalists, New Black Panther Party, and all others that were standing, walking, fighting, literally fighting. This is the kind of man that you and I must aspire to be like. He gave the white man hell. He wasn't surrendering. Police came trying to touch him. There was no surrender. What do you and I look like with our hands up and we supposed to be the vanguard of black people? Come on, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters. Are you Panther or are you Cubs? Are you Panthers or are you Cubs? And if we're going to go in, we got to mean business. Wherever we go. We want justice. That's all we want. That's all we want. If there were no trouble in these communities, we wouldn't even go. But we have to be there. We're called by God to be there because there's trouble in the community. You're not just going out because you want to go out. God is sending you out, brothers and sisters. Whoever that God is to you, whatever his name is to you, God is sending you out. We're working for God. I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that if you come for sexual immorality, brothers and sisters, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place and you're coming for immorality. That's not what we stand for. If you coming to embezzle, brothers and sisters, you're in the wrong place. If you coming to smoke weed and all the rest of that, you're in the wrong place. A healthy body leads to a healthy mind. That's part of being revolutionary. You got to be healthy. You got to have a healthy body. You got to have a healthy mind. You got to have exercise. You got to have regimens. You got to have education and training. Medically, socially, and otherwise. So if your brother or your sister has been shot, you know how to take a bullet out. If your brother or your sister have been damaged from strongholds of fighting, then you know how to soothe that wound. If they've been cut, you know how to clean out that wound and sew it back up. Bandage him so he's able to make it. That's a fact, brothers and sisters. We stood with a man that understood what revolution really was. And you never heard him go against anyone or say any speech that was not heartfelt without respect to the person that he was talking about. Never. Never. I never heard him speak ill of anyone, any leader. I've never heard him do it. Never. All of his speeches, everything that he ever taught was passionate. Love for the brotherhood. That Jesus, the real Jesus, the black man, the black Messiah, he was about love for the brothers. He wasn't telling you to love the white man. You're out of your mind if you think Jesus was talking about love the white man. Why, Jesus was a slave. Jesus was a slave then to the Greeks, to the Romans, to all of those that were coming into power. He was a slave to wealthy Jews. Jesus was a slave. I want you to understand that Herod was a wealthy Jew. Not by bloodline, but by nationalism. I hope you understand me, brothers and sisters. And I hope you're all right. Don't mean to tire you. I want you to really understand this. This is knowledge. This is water. This is water for you. I was given this water to drink. I'm giving you water. This water will make you rise again. This water will resurrect you, brothers and sisters. Resurrect your mind and resurrect your spirit and your heart. This water will resurrect you, the whole man. But you understand that the same thing that they were doing to the black Jesus then is the very same thing they're doing to us today. And they didn't hang him on the cross, they hung him with a rope. When you get the actual book, the actual old King James Version, they tell you that truth. But every year, that man, he takes a little bit more out of the book that he gave you, that he told you was all right to read. You imagine that. The man was chopping your foot off, chopping your hands off, blinding your eyes because you read the Bible. And then one day, this devil gave it to you after he had made a world retranslation of the very knowledge that you were reading. The knowledge that's about you. That's your history, your heritage, your culture that's in the Bible. Many of the brothers and sisters don't even know that. Because this white man has been trying to sell this white Jesus for so many years. It was Michelangelo that he had to paint Jesus as a white man. Brothers and sisters, I have to get on you a little bit because you read and study everything else except your history, your culture. You'll read and study everything else except your history and your culture. Stop reading that white man history and read your own history. You are from the bloodline of Jesus. You are the kings and queens of the earth. You are the kings and queens of Mother Earth. That's you. That's me. We were brought in from successful kingdom. Young princes and young prince, young kings and queens that were brought in and treated like a dog. And once they brought us over here, they overtook our lands over there. And yes, brothers and sisters, we even had sellouts. Yes, I said it. You even had some sellouts back then. Well, you be out of your mind to think you didn't. You got sellouts today. You have sellouts today. Had we went on the nation's capital like those white people did, you would have had black folks dead all across the nation's capital. That's a fact. That's a fact. And they let these people go home and would tell you or I through news media, the same devils that share the other lies that we're telling. They share the other lies to us and we run with it. These same devils in the media want you and I to believe that they're actually going to imprison white folks that ran in the Capitol ready to kill them. They had guns, broke into the Capitol like animals. That's what they are. Devils. I've been trying to tell you my whole life that these devils are going to actually punish their little devils for the evil that they've done. They haven't even arrested Donald Trump. So what makes you and I believe that they're going to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly? They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. That's why I tell you, there's no difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Just a flip of the coin. Just a flip of the coin. Joe Biden is heads, and Donald Trump is an ass. He's tails, so he's ass. That's the only difference. There's no other difference. There's no other difference. And see, it took, I have so much respect for the Most Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad, because it took him years to mold and shape my mind, because it had been poisoned. It had been poisoned, brothers and sisters, to think that there was some decency in the white man. There's no decency in the white man. I want you to understand this, because once you understand that that man don't think the same way you think, he don't respect God the same way you respect him, he don't respect humanity the same way, the minute that you find that out, then you're on your way. When you find that out, you're on your way. But you got to get there first. First thing you got to do is get there. But when you find out, you're on your way. White man don't think about life the way that you think about it. He has privilege. And white privilege and white racism is the same thing. What makes you think? I want you to think with me, brothers and sisters. It is horrible. It is horrible just to think that people really don't get it, really don't understand what's going on. Brothers and sisters, these devils have no idea what true respect and what true love is. I want you to understand this. They'll never love you. I don't care if you're married to a cracker, whether he be male or female. I don't care. I don't care. I'm trying to tell you, if you listen to me, you might get out of it. You might save your life. If they will kill their own people, what do you think they'll do to you? They kill their own kids. Susan Smith in the 80s killed her own kids, left them in the car, put the car in neutral, and pushed her kids into a river until they drowned. This is what a white woman did to her kids. I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that. Now, she's not the only one. Casey Anthony and many white women. You'll find out over the course of 20 or 30 years that nothing happened to either one of them. Nothing really happened. Even Susan Smith, they told you that she went to jail when they actually put her on house arrest and tried to give her mental health therapy. Brothers and sisters, don't buy everything that you hear about this white man. Do you honestly think that he's going to really put his people in prison or jail? And even if he does for a little while, when they get out, it doesn't matter, because they still have all rights and privileges, can still get credit cards, can still open business, still be working into society. It's not like that when you and I go. If you and I go to jail, it's not that way. You already know. When you go to jail, your life is over. And the man put drugs and alcohol in your community because he knows that you're going to use or sell either one, which is going to put you back in jail. Is that right or wrong? Is that right or wrong? You know that I'm right. You know that I'm right about it. And so, what do? What is your job? What is the business that you have? You should clean up. First thing you should do is clean up. Clean your life. Clean your thoughts. Clean your walk, your way of living. Clean it. Then after that, start eating right. Because a healthy body needs a healthy mind. Start eating right. Start exercising. Start taking care of this temple of yours. And once you start taking care of it, brothers and sisters, you'll start to feel better. And then once you take care of the temple, start feeding that mind with knowledge. You need a religious knowledge? Get the Nation of Islam. Message to the black man. So that you'll know what's going on around you. The only thing that is going to save you is revolutionary knowledge. The only thing that's going to save you. You go to these Christian churches, many of them are not preaching anything. You know, one of the things that really disturbed me about the white man's version of Christianity and white nationalism, and that's what black churches are. Black churches preach white nationalism Because if they didn't preach white nationalism, then you wouldn't be looking at the white man and wanting to be in. You wouldn't be looking up to the white man. You wouldn't be reading a book that's got a white Jesus in it. You wouldn't do it. So when you talk about Christianity, this is white man control. He's preaching white nationalism. Anywhere he goes, the first thing that he does when he's about to take over that church is that, or rather take over that country, first thing he does is sit a white church in there. He established a Christian church. He get them to go into church. The minute he get them going to church, he retrains in the church their way of thinking. When he talk about Jesus, he don't talk about a revolutionary that fought. Jesus actually fought. Whoever fought him, he fought them. He won't tell you about that. He tell you about a Jesus that was lowly, meek, and mild. That's the kind of Jesus. See, because he already rewrote the Bible so it could be that kind of Jesus. You see, that's what he does. He institute that. Now he got your mind. And when he gets your mind, then he can get your way of thinking. When he gets your mind, he can control the body. Now let's look at this in a mass sense. If he controlled the black mind on a mass level, then he controlled the black population on a mass level. So you and I have to retrain our mind to think like revolutionaries. We got to retrain our heart to love the black man and hate the white man. That's a fact, brothers and sisters. That seems harsh. That's the kind of teaching that our leader, the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad, was talking about. That's the kind of leader you've never had, without exception. I don't care who wants to be. You've never had a leader like the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad that led the party with truth, justice, equality, and a true sense of spiritual knowledge. A true sense of spiritual knowledge to make that brother or sister continue, to make them train, to make them pure, and to make them better. You never had it. Because when the brothers and sisters will leave the battlefield, they're going to the temple or the mosque to get some knowledge, to learn how to continue. You'll never get that. Understand what I'm telling you? You'll never get it out of a mealy-mouthed preacher. Now, I've seen some black preachers that will preach as hard as a Muslim, if not harder, and will live and fight as hard as a Muslim, if not harder. And to that brother, did he understand what the revolution is all about? But there are very few amongst the black men. Because right now, today, the church, the Christian church, has been made a place of profit. I hate to say it, brothers and sisters. And all of it comes from the white man. All of it comes from the white man. All of it comes from the white man. Any trouble that you find yourself in, anything you talk about, brothers and sisters, and I'm telling you, any trouble that you find yourself in, the white man is the reason that you're in that trouble. He's the reason. He's the reason you're in it. There's no way around it. And some of them will come around you acting nice. This is why, and I tell people all the time, Black Lives Matter is not going anywhere. Now you look at it, it's dying out. It's dying out. Tamika Mallory, she ain't really talking about nothing either. That she's working for the government. Anytime you have somebody to come out and they speak and say something toward the crowd, they justify anything and they get up and leave. You don't have an army with you. You're leaving these people vulnerable. You started a fire and you're leaving them vulnerable. You don't have soldiers. You have yet to visit black nationalists. You have yet to visit the black nationalist community. You have yet to visit the soldiers and form a coalition. You're not serious about freedom. And if you think that I believe that, either you're jiving yourself or you're trying to jive me. I don't know which. But any leader that has the favor of these white people that is able to go around this country, fly around, pop in and pop out, these people are not on your side, brothers and sisters. If they're not trying to form an organization there that's going to take care of that problem and that mess that's inside of that organization to root out the cancer of racism, they're not on your side. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has already told you He was telling you that the white man is the devil. He was telling you that the white man cannot be saved, cannot be helped. The same knowledge is what the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad pushed over to us. They talk about Minister Malcolm. Minister Malcolm didn't trust the white devil when he came from Mecca. He was still talking about forming a rifle association and rifle clubs. Because it was just a matter of time. I'm sure he figured out that the CIA, that whole thing about everybody getting along was just a plot. But just a plot. It was just a matter of time before he figured it out. That's why they had to get rid of him. And the shameful thing is that they had us to do it. You always got a Tom around that's going to betray you and I. It's always a Tom around. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, brothers and sisters. But there's always a Tom around that's going to betray you or I. Now, a Tom, I want you to understand this. No Uncle Tom is on our side. We won't tolerate any Uncle Tom because they're responsible for people getting killed. And we're there to protect life. We're there to protect the lives of black people. So we can't tolerate Uncle Toms. We can't tolerate Uncle Tom. And see, if you take care of the Uncle Tom, then the white man can't send anybody there. Now, he's our brother. He has children. He has a mother. He has a father. So we got a special place for them. We don't kill them. Because we won't kill our own people. But we'll give him the business. We'll give him the business and bring him to the door. And then we got our own prison that we lock him up in and leave him there. It's his business whether he get out. That's his business. And that way you got the Toms out of the way. See, you do that, you got these devils out of the way. You got to be wise, brothers and sisters. You got to know what's going on. You got to know what you must do. Right now, we should be organized and informed. When we come from Little Rock, and we put out this search for Karla Lassiter, which won't end until we find her. And we go, there's no turning back. There's no turning back. I want you to understand that. Because right now they're making their business to attack all of us. And if we let them do it to our little children, you see, we've already got a lot of ground to cover. We got to go back and cover a lot of ground. If we let them get away with it, let them get away with what they're doing, then how can we call ourselves revolutionary? That's the question I have for you. I hear, brothers and sisters, it's the saddest thing in the world. Makai X done a beautiful job. He done what he felt he had to do. They're saying, well, brother, I think Makai X may have been a little wrong. Why? Why do you feel like he was wrong? Well, I don't feel he should have went that far. And I said, brother, they're killing us. He done what he felt like he had to do. I watched this, brother, because anytime somebody come talking to you sideways and looking at you with a slant, that means looking at you out the corner of their eyes. Anytime somebody talking sideways and looking at you with a slant, you need to pay close attention to them. Pay very, very close attention to them, because if you do it, pay attention to them, they're going to slip up. And the best time for you to observe somebody is when they don't know you're doing it. Well, I followed this brother and had individuals to just observe him, close enough to observe him, not harass him, but to observe him. And we found out that the brother, when he went home, he was married to a white woman. You hear me? Did you understand what I said? He was married to a white woman. And it was all clear to me that every time we made a stand or we had something going on, why he was always talking out the side of his neck. Well, brothers and sisters, you see, he was infiltrating the party. He infiltrated, as far as I'm concerned, the Nation of Islam. He infiltrated. Because these are not people that we deal with. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the white man is the devil. There's no exception to that. There's no exception. The Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad said the white man is the devil. There's no exception to that. So if you believe it, You fighting that devil. There's no exception. There's no exception. I hear brother now, well, brother, you need to be careful about saying that. I'm not careful about saying it because I know that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that there's no exception. When he wrote the book, Message to the Black Man, that message was to the black man and the black woman of this planet. We are the cream of the planet Earth. We are the cream. To all the lost and found nation of Islam. You said, well, you're leaving out the Christian. No, I'm not, because there's no such thing as a black Christian. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You may have people in the Christian church, but there's no such thing as a black Christian. Even black coons that go to white churches, they're not Christian. Jesus was not a Christian. Brothers and sisters, I'm trying to educate you the best way that I can. Jesus was not a Christian, and if he was, how could he follow himself? How could he follow himself? He wasn't a Christian. The white man used the term Christianity, which meant to be Christ-like. The white man used it. He used it. Jesus was a Muslim. He was under the religion of Islam. All you have to do is search history, and you'll find out that this is true. So we speak about Jesus. We know Jesus. We talk about the miracles of Jesus and the healings of Jesus. We believe it. We still perform miracles today. We'll raise a man from a dead level to a live one. When you raise a man from a level of depression and a level of doubt and a level of disbelief and a level of oppression, you raise him up to a live one. You're raising up that man. You're changing that man's life. Whereas he used to drink, he doesn't drink anymore. He used to be on drugs, he's not on drugs anymore. He used to hate his woman and beat her and rip her down, and he's getting away from that. He changes his life. He comes away from that. Where he used to mistreat his children and speak negative things to them, he begins to educate them, love them, and speak positive. You're changing the life. There's no different. This is the same knowledge that is taught in the New Black Panther Party. Is that right or wrong? As a matter of fact, you care so much about the children in the party because you know that these are the new soldiers that are coming up. And it's best to get them as children because you can change them. That young kid, I shouldn't say kid because that's a goat. That young child, that Karla Lassiter had to dig his hand in that toilet in feces. He and his mother need our hands around her. That child needs to be trained and raised to be the most fierce panther that this world has ever seen. All the children in his generation need that gift from us, brothers and sisters. But in order for us to do it, we have to be standing right. We got to be living right. We can't be no sellout. We have not had a leader since Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. We have not had a leader. And brothers and sisters, when he was assassinated, and I say that because it's the truth, when he was assassinated, there were those of us that was around that waited 8 hours, 8+ hours, when he was poisoned. They waited 8+ hours before they called an ambulance. This is a fact. This is a fact. Now, we put the real knowledge out. Brother Steve Coakley and myself put the real knowledge out. I taped and he lectured. Other people taped and he lectured. We arranged it behind the scenes with Dr. Khalid and he lectured. Him and Dr. Khalid were very close friends. So, brothers and sisters, what I'm telling you is that you got to go and see who killed Dr. Khalid Muhammad. See that lecture. Come back to me. Come back to me because I'm going to come back on. I won't be long, but I'll certainly be strong. I'll certainly be strong. I'll be back to you, running live again, and we will be discussing that. Now, brothers and sisters, we have a book coming out. There's a book coming out that will explain that entirely. And it's going to really blow you out of the water. When you find out who I'm talking about that was there, the two people that I'm talking about that was there that would not call the ambulance, and the young lady that was also involved, brothers and sisters, it's going to shake you up. So I'm telling you, you got to be strong. And you find out that one of the devils are receiving money from the government in a grant program to rehabilitate a community. It has a building, has several buildings, living high off the hog. I say that because he's probably a pork eater. It would surprise me if he doesn't eat pork. Most coons and sellouts will eat pork. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. When you find out, I'm going to be pulling the covers off. We've got a lot of knowledge, brothers and sisters. So much to put out. So much to put out. We had the blessings of our ancestors, Sister Betty X. We had her blessing. It was a pleasure to meet her, the wife of Minister Malcolm X. To have met her grandson, who they killed too. Sister Betty X burned up in a fire. We're going to do the math on that. Young Malcolm Shabazz wasn't responsible for that. They spent time trying to convince people and trying to convince him in a mental institution to say that he done something that he didn't do. And the brother didn't admit that he did it because he knew he didn't do it. When he got out, he said, I said what they told me to say. Because that's the only way they would release me. Isn't that something? That's the kind of devils you're dealing with. That's the kind of devils you're dealing with. The white man's blueprint is a fire. That's his blueprint. The white man's blueprint is a gun. That's his blueprint. The white man's blueprint is a pill or poison. That's his blueprint, brothers and sisters. All of those are his blueprints. And if the black man shoot you with a gun, the white man sent him to do it. Our brother Nipsey Russell, which was doing, or rather Nipsey Hussle, which was doing a great job. A great job. Working with us in the community, had his area locked down tight. You didn't know that he was working in the nationalist community. They're not going to tell you that. A lot of sellout rappers that was working against the brother, hating on the brother. Ah, brothers and sisters, we have so much to discuss. But I think that's enough for now. I think I've held your attention long enough, and I thank you for taking time out to listen to your brother. Don't forget, we're getting prepared. We'll be coming back and forth with live. I don't know, I may be coming back tonight. Keep your heads open, or rather keep your heads up, keep your eyes open. I may be coming back tonight. But nonetheless, you can look it up. We got schedules. We got a lot of knowledge that's already out there for you to study. Already out there for you to, all you got to do is read it. All you have to do is get on YouTube, listen. That's all you got to do. The books that are coming out, we'll have them ready for you. Some of them will be on audio. We will read them all the way out on audio. So you'll be able to get it on audio. You'll be able to get it on a virtual copy of it if you want it, and you'll be able to get a physical copy. We don't support ourselves with this. We support our movement with this. So any penny that you drop, you supporting the movement. We had some brothers and sisters to create websites for us. Sister Joanna X created a great website for us. We got many other websites out there that brothers and sisters have created to be able to do their part. We have those collecting canned goods, clothing, those that are building shelter for our people across the country. We must encourage our people to get out of the public school system and start educating yourself. If you don't have any education tools or resources, we have schools. We have classes during the week, online for our people. We have feeding programs. We're not revolutionaries if we're not dealing with the whole man. We have jobs. Brothers and sisters, if you want a job, we have jobs for people. You can work from home. You can work from home. You don't have to work for the white man. You can work from home. So call us. Get in contact with us. Drop us a line. Drop us a line. We're serious about revolution. And you can't fight a real revolution working for that white man. It's going to be hard, but you reorganize yourself, and with our steps and our process, you will make it. And you will be independent, and you will be able to make it. We're going to be going through this COVID thing a long time. This American economy and infrastructure has fallen, and it has nothing to do with COVID-19. It's not even a vaccine. It's not even a vaccine they're shooting in your system. It's poison. And they're using it to kill you. Black man and black woman, don't go to the hospitals to take that poison. Stop having your babies in the hospital with these devils so they can kill them. Black man and black woman, use your mind. See what's going on. So you won't be tricked by these devils. Why do I talk so hard? Because I love you. It's my job to love you, brothers and sisters. That kind of God sent me to love you. That kind of God. So I thank you, brothers and sisters. I love you, brothers and sisters. And I pray that you be well. And I pray that I've said something to encourage you. That is my desire and prayer. And that if anything that is damaging you or hurting your family, that you would turn away from it and build your family up and do for self and love self. That is my desire and my prayer to our God, the God of the universe, the God of the planet Earth. And we are his cream. And I pray that anything I said can inspire you to become greater every day than you were yesterday. With this, I give you my peace, my blessings, my love. And I say unto you, Assalamu alaikum. And I know that you're saying unto me, wa alaikum salam. What does that mean, brothers and sisters? It means I'm saying peace be unto you. And I come to you in peace, God's peace. That's better than the world, deeper than the world, better than the world's understanding, better than the world's peace. It's the peace of God, with understanding who you are, where you are, understanding what you are and what you must do, and who you belong to. Assalamu alaikum.